and it's just like um uh any other defense. um we have to protect
100%.
ourselves from the irresponsibility of others, no different than we would with stop signs, like we would with traffic lights, like we would with you have to be 18 before you come into the site, like you would with you have to be 18 before you can vote,
Yeah.
21 before you can drink, this age before you can buy cigarettes. Like all of these rules, you have to have a license before you can buy a gun. Like this is the same, that
I think
people
so.
will be irresponsible. It's not a matter of freedom of speech. It's a matter of, will there be irresponsible people? And we know that there will. So if there's going to be irresponsibility, there is a obligation and responsibility you have to the citizens and humans that have agreed to live in that society. There's an agreement that we make as society, and we have to take those agreements seriously.
It feels like we're so behind. I know the government's behind, but the government's behind in everything. But like, it feels like we're so behind in the social media in particular. I mean, the internet, but social media.
Yes.
Like here's an example of something that this concept of shadow banning.
Okay.
Sort of shifting gears a little bit, but
sure.
Have you followed any of this? Yeah, I'm sure you've seen people.
Yes, but what do you mean specifically?
So, for example, the latest one. I'm in the self-defense, martial arts sphere.
Yes.
I like to shoot guns and shit like that.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
So a lot of the stuff that I follow online.
Oh, it's coming for you.
But those
a gun and martial arts and a white man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm about to fill your algorithm up with the worst.
That's the thing. I don't put that stuff necessarily on the internet, but the people that
doesn't
do,
matter. Yeah, the people that
they
do
tend to fall on the let's say they
spectrum.
are right of center.
Yes.
Most of the more famous ones are always complaining about being shadow banned, meaning that if you go on Instagram right now, you can't find my profile.
Yes.
I'm being shadow banned. Like the most recent one is the Rogan Trump interview. It was getting like, I'm going to quote it wrong, but I mean, let's just say it was like 1 million views an hour. It's up to like 40 million views or something like that, which
it's crazy.
It's fucking nuts for a podcast like on YouTube. You know what I mean?
It makes sense.
But his latest post,
everybody wants to see the dead cat get thrown.
That's right. From 9 hours ago, there seems to be an issue where the Trump podcast is difficult, in quotes, to search for on YouTube. So I've uploaded it to X. But I mean, I went to, and I was like, really? So I incognito window, YouTube. I wrote Joe Rogan, and it was like Trump podcast.
Of course.
Is the first drop down. And I'm like, scenes coming to bullshit. but if I look through the comments, it's like censorship is a weapon of tyranny.
Yeah, man.
If he was bad as they say, they would let you watch it. And YouTube will issue an apology after the election.
Oh my god!
But it's like, bro, I don't think you're being shadow banned.
No, you're not being shadow banned. However, it's just like, let's just keep the same analogy of yelling fire in a crowded theater. If it did not happen, is irrelevant if everyone is telling you, or let's not even say everyone. If there's a large enough contingency of people saying that someone yelled fire in a theater, you'll believe it if you weren't there.
Yeah, if you hear it enough.
And so your first instinct is to go, oh man, that's crazy. Because it's dead. Once again, the dead cat theory. Oh man, it's crazy. And so the minute you hear it again, now your response is tied to that emotional trigger, as opposed to it being tied to what I am fighting for us to be as more thoughtful in how we ingest information. So instead of our first response being, oh man, that's crazy, we should practice our first response being, who told you that?
Yeah.
Who was yelling fire in a crowded theater?
This is
where were they at?